So this year hasn't been the easiest year for you. You had your fight booked in October against Marlon Jones, and that was cancelled.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the fight getting delayed. How hard has it been in terms of preparation, in terms of training camp? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, supposed to fight Marlon as well in May.
In May, yeah.
So I was like 3 weeks deep, so that wasn't too bad when that got cancelled because it was only like 3 weeks deep into camp. So just get me bearings. But the last one for the October, that really affected me because, like, obviously I spent quite a bit of money in to go away because I didn't do my camp here. I done my camp in Newcastle with the SBG South Shields. So I was up there, and mentally it was harder than anything. The way physically, it was mentally harder because it's the first time I've been away from my family and like for a certain amount of period of time. So it was challenging both. So I knew that was going to build me and make me a better, stronger person. And I'd come into the fight a lot more confident I was because I know that mentally I was going to be tougher. So I was a lot more confident walking into this camp. But then, like, I come home with the other two gyms, KC and MMA Academy. It was like, felt good, felt amazing. And then, unfortunately, the show couldn't run it. So it was quite devastating. And I thought it'd happen in November again. But at the same time, there was no promises. So I didn't really want to put my body through all of that again and lose a lot of weight just for nothing to happen again. So it was a bit 50-50. I didn't know what to do. So I've kept my weight down. Like, I'm still eating what I want, and obviously I've got a fight book now, so I'm starting to curve it. But I was eating what I want, but I stayed at like a good weight where I'm not going to kill myself to get to bantamweight. So, but it was hard. Like, mentally cancelling it again because Marlon's a tough fight. Like, I want that fight because he's not just, he's got like one of the belts that I want. He's UK number one. And if I want to be the UK number one, I've got to beat him.
Yeah.
So that's why I want Marlon. And he is the toughest fight out there at the moment.
Yeah. And I think just another question I maybe wanted to ask. I've spoken to some fighters who almost say that they prefer to fight on short notice because the mental toll isn't as great. Is it hard training for someone? You talked about your first fight being booked in May, and we've now got a potential book in January, February time. Is it hard training for someone for so long in terms of the mental aspect of it?
It was at the start, but now it's like, now that I know how obviously it fights and I have to adapt to that. But at the moment, no, because I feel confident with it. So like the mental side, the more I feel stronger attacking one person's game, the more I feel confident going into the fight. Like I prefer a long camp. I prefer like 12 weeks of fight camp, like getting prepared. Like I've took fights on short notice. I took when I was younger in Thai. I took fights on like 4 or 5 days notice, but in MMA I like to have like a long camp, which is like 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. And you mentioned in your camp for the scheduled fight in November, you were training with UFC bantamweight Davey Grant. How has training with someone as established as him helped to improve your overall game?
Good. Davey was very tough round and like good training partner just because like we were sort of the same size. So like Davey I went up in June. First time I went up was June to help Davey prepare for his UFC on Fight Ireland, the debut for Fight Ireland, and he knocked his kid out in the third round, I think. So he done proper well, but like even just sparring with him, he was fast, he was sharp, his wrestling was there, his ground game was there, and he hits hard. For his size, he's probably one of the hardest hitters for his size.
Yeah.
So like knowing that I was going back up there and I was with Davey was going to be like, I was happy to be surrounded by him because he was a good training partner for me.
Yeah. And then maybe moving on to other training partners. I know last summer you spent a little bit of time over at Alliance MMA. Talk to me a little bit about how that came about and what that experience was like.
How it came about was just sort of joking about it, because like it was sort of we went in the July, but this was like January point, and I remember just coming home from a session, and I just had my mate Connor and my dad in the car. We were just sitting there and talking about training, and we sort of just got on the subject that we wanted to go away, and we were just joking about it, and then we just went, well, if you just want to do it, we'll do it now. So we were going to book originally Arizona, the MMA lab where Sugar Sean was. That's where we were going to go, because I had played Xbox and that with him. So that's where we were going to go originally. And then the time that we were going, it would have been like 42 degrees, and we were just like, knew we couldn't handle that. So like we sort of looked for other places, and my coach Jason in the MMA Academy knew Eric Del Ferro, the head coach in Alliance MMA at the time. So we like sort of asked them, could you get in touch with them and just like see if we could come over and train with them for a month. So there was like 5 of us who went over there, and like the training was amazing. Like we were training 3 times a day at least, and like it was different because how they run it compared to us. Like there's normally our harder sessions towards the end of the week, where theirs was like more to the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they'd have like the Thursday, Saturday and Sunday sort of chilled, and the Friday hard. So they sort of like done it differently, but like they were sparring sometimes maybe 3 times a day. We do like MMA sparring, Thai sparring, boxing sparring. So it was good. Your body was sore, but like we were right round the corner from the beach, Imperial Beach in San Diego, Chula Vista. It was like amazing, just like where we were. It was so nice, and like where obviously we're from, everyone's not really nice around here in Liverpool and that. So like going over there, everyone was nice. So we just wanted someone to call you something, because everyone you walk in, everyone would be nice, everyone would be like so happy. No one would be miserable or nothing. So like we were sort of wanting someone to like tell us to leg it or something like that. But it was good. And like the fighters like Dominic Cruz and Jeremy Stevens, like they were 2 big ones in there. But like they sort of just took us under the wing like we were any normal fighter. They didn't go easy on us, and like they give us a hard time in sparring, which was good because we didn't want to go over there and just get like sort of babysitted. Do you know what I mean? So like by them giving us a hard time and getting us involved, sort of took us under the wing and it helped us a lot.
Yeah, I suppose there may have been a worry going over there that, as you say, they're going to go easy on you, and with all the planning and all the expense, it's hardly worth it.
Yeah, and it got me prepared for like the IMAFs in the world, because I was going over there and sparring like UFC level, where I've got that here, but over there was a good high level. Like Jeremy Stevens is definitely the hardest person I've ever been hit by. Like I've been hit quite hard, and like he hit me and I thought, wow, that's like stupid. Like that's what the only time where I've sort of stopped and thought, wow, that's like it's hard. But yeah, like just even that got us prepared, because like I thought like USA, Russia, Ukraine and Czech Republic and like at the IMAS, so like I sort of got prepared for it by going over there, and I was used to the level that they were going to bring. Yeah. So it helped in many ways, and it helped to like sort of become a better person that I am, like mentally as well. So it did toughen me up a lot.
Yeah. And as we've said, we've mentioned a couple of the names: Dominic Cruz, Jeremy Stevens, Angela Hill, Phil Davis from Bellator. Would it be possible for you to maybe give me one fighter over there? It doesn't have to be a big name, but just one fighter that you think helped you as a fighter improve the most? Maybe something that you helped incorporate into your game? Anything that stands out?
Yeah, we just wanted like 2, but they were brothers. Goyito Perez, he was the first Mexican in the UFC, and Lupe Perez, his younger brother, he was like 23. But them 2, I was sort of like, they were my sort of main sparring partners and drilling partners. them two definitely helped me the most.
Yeah, brilliant. And maybe talking about your career a little bit now. So, as you say, you've had, was it 4 amateur fights you said you've had now?
Yeah, in MMA.
Four MMA amateur fights. I know you've got a more decorated background. What is the plan with your amateur career and you're maybe moving into the pros? Is that something that you want to do? And if so, is there a loose plan to that?
Yeah, I definitely want to turn pro. I like my target to be in the UFC by 24, 25, so about 6 years from now. I think I could get it by there. But I think I don't want to rush anything just yet. I want at least 10 amateur MMA fights before going into pro, just for like experience and round time. Like, because like I've only been in one full fight, which just went to decision, which like that's the only long fight I've been in. Everything else was 2 first and a second. So I want cage time, a lot more of it. Because like I done like the working out like a couple of weeks ago. I've been in like the cage for before MMA fights. Like I think I've been in like 30 minutes, something like that, just in the 4. So I'd probably turn. I'm looking between 19 and 20, trying to pro between them.
Yeah.
But as long as I get the 10 amateur MMA fights behind me, then I'll start ready. And also when the coaches think I'm ready to turn pro, when they think I'm at a certain level, so they give me the heads up, then I know I'll be ready.
Yeah. And then moving towards your fight against Marlon Jones, you mentioned there was a rough date towards the end of January, something like that.
That's Marlon's in March now.
Oh, in March.
Yeah. I thought it would have been early, but it's in March. I've got another fight in January. But...
Oh, brilliant. Okay, great. Yeah. So I was unsure of that, to be honest, but you've got your fight in January, but I know you've trained for Marlon Jones, and as you mentioned, he's the number 1 in the UK in the division. When that fight finally takes place, what's going to happen?
It's a hard one. This is like a lot of people have asked, what do you think? I think it'll be a tough fight. I don't think the first 3 rounds we're both going to still be in there. That's what I believe. So I believe the 4th and 5th round will start to show like who's got more heart and like tougher. And I could get finished in the 4th or 5th and he could. So I don't believe it'll go the full way. So I think the 4th or 5th round will be like the ones where it starts to bite down on the gum shield, and rather get a sub or a TKO or a KO.
Yeah.
So I think the 4th and 5th round, someone's going out.
Yeah. And your fight in January, is the plan to have crowd attendance?
I haven't been told. I haven't been told anything yet, but I know this show that's happening in January is that's run twice so far over lockdown. So I know that'll go ahead, but it's run twice without a crowd. So I know they're not fussed about like making sort of money or anything. It's just to get fighters out there, which I'm happy with. Yeah. So I think March, I think there'll be a crowd, and I hope there is in there. I hope there's one in January.
Yeah, great. Well, brilliant. So how can people find you on social media? How can people follow your career and your journey?
Just my Facebook is Kurtis Campbell and my Instagram is Kurtis Campbell 12.
Okay, great. Brilliant.